So Sean Combs is having a no good, very bad, pretty terrible start to the holiday season. He has been hit with two more two more lawsuits since the Cassie situation, and it seems like all of these skeletons are coming a tumbling down. Okay, so the second lady is accusing him of revenge porn that supposedly happened back in 1991. Let's get into this one, and then we'll go into lawsuit number three. 5 days after Diddy and Cassie reached an agreement in the singer's lawsuit against Combs, in which she accused him of rape, sex trafficking, and abuse, the rapper and producer is subject of another lawsuit. The new suit filed yesterday on Thanksgiving, in the Supreme Court of the state of New York accuses Combs of drugging and sexually assaulting a former Syracuse University college student in 1991 and filming the alleged incident. The suit alleges that Combs then showed the video to others in an act described as revenge porn. Now, back in the 90s, there was another person who was out here filming things who's now sitting in jail, and there was a whole expose surviving R. Smelly. I wonder if we are going to get Surviving Diddy. I wonder if we're going to get that, because clearly something needs to be documented and put on to Netflix. The lawsuit states that Combs took the woman to dinner in a Harlem restaurant in January 1991, drove her to the recording studio where she claims she was unable to get out the vehicle because she had been intentionally drugged, resulting in her being in a state where she was unable to independently stand or walk. Then, allegedly, he took the accuser to where he was staying and assaulted her. According to the lawsuit, Combs, known as P. Diddy, also filmed the act, in which a friend of the accuser reportedly viewed. Days later, the suit reads, a male friend revealed to her he had viewed the Smix tape along with other men. Through a rep, Diddy denied the allegation in a statement to TMZ. This last minute lawsuit is an example of how a well intentioned law can be turned on its head. The rep said the 32-year-old story is made up and not credible. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicates companies that did not exist. This is purely a money grab and nothing more. All right, so number three, third accuser sues Sean Combs for SA. Jane Doe plaintiff alleges Sean Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns raping her and a friend after an uptown event in the early 90s. Diddy has been hit with a third lawsuit alleging SA under the Adult Survivors Act that expired after Thanksgiving. The new complaint from an anonymous accuser alleges Combs and the singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns raping the plaintiff and her friend in 1990 or 91, and that Diddy turned violent during a rage days later. In the filing obtained by Rolling Stone, Jane Doe alleges she and her friend met Diddy and Hall at an event hosted by MCA Records, the distributor of Uptown Records, at the company's office in New York. Combs and Hall were very flirtatious and handsy with Jane Doe and her friend, offering them drinks throughout the night. As the event was winding down, Combs and Hall allegedly invited the women back to Hall's apartment for an after party. While at Hall's apartment, Jane Doe was offered more drinks and was coerced into having sex with Combs. After Combs finished doing his business, Jane Doe laid in bed, shocked and traumatized. As she was in the process of getting dressed, Hall barged in the room, pinned her down, and forced Jane Doe to have sex with him. The complaint says Jane Doe quickly got dressed and fled from Hall's residence after the alleged rape. It alleges that she later spoke to her friend and learned the other woman had been forced to have sex with Combs and Hall in another room. Upon information and belief, when Combs finished with Jane Doe, he and Hall switched, the paperwork states. A couple of days later, allegedly, Combs visited the home where Jane Doe and her friend were staying and turned violent. He was irate and began assaulting and choking Jane Doe to the point that she passed out. What we are hearing about this dude, there needs to definitely be some kind of documentary on him. Alongside Hall and Combs, the suit names MCA Music Entertainment, Geffen Records as defendants. Reps for Hall and Combs did not immediately return requests for comment on Friday. The lawsuit filed in New York County Supreme Court alleges Jane Doe informed her close friends and family about what had occurred. It claims she sought medical treatment to heal from trauma visited upon her by Combs and Hall. So hopefully this woman has some paperwork that can be found to corroborate her claims. The new filing marks the third lawsuit filed against Combs and the expiration of the Adult Survivors Act. So we shall see what new lawsuits come to light, because I'm sure that Rolling Stone, TMZ, and all of these other outlets are all over it. So much sexual dysfunction is being highlighted here recently. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's in the water. It's just a whole lot at one time. Oklahoma City Thunder's Josh Giddey goes viral for alleged explicit photos with underage girl. Now, I don't know if this girl is underage. Not many outlets are speaking on this, and this girl is definitely subject to of people like scrutinizing her age when he is the adult in this situation. But let's get into this article. Okay, to this article. Another massive scandal is brewing in the NBA after Oklahoma City Thunder's Josh Giddey has gone viral with pictures and videos alongside an allegedly underage girl. Her name is Liv Cook, and she is reportedly a sophomore in high school. Liv herself posted images bragging about having sex with Giddey, and the player does seem like he is comfortable enough around her to make people think this is true. The images were initially posted by an anonymous source. This source took the post down, but it was too late. The damage was done, and Josh Giddey's career is in serious jeopardy right now. This is all it takes to kill a career short in the NBA, a league that has some strange double standards, but a potentially statutory grape allegation is where they do draw the line. So on the Twitter, that's where some of these pictures are still, because I am sure that Liv Cook has gone private as far as her TikTok page is concerned. This is the post where she talked about she effed Josh Giddey. Another picture with Josh Giddey and the girl. Now, I think that they are splitting hairs when they're talking about, is she 15, is she 16, whatever. This is just a bad look because he is an NBA player and an adult, and she is a teenager still in high school. So this is a bad look. So this is going to come down to, is he going to get traded? I don't know. But this part right here is talking about what is the age of consent in Oklahoma. Given the scandalous situation for Josh Giddey, many have started wondering what the age of consent is in the state of Oklahoma. According to Oklahoma Criminal Defense, the age of consent in the state is 16. That means that if Liv is 15, as a person who posted the image says, Giddey is definitely committing a crime. However, there was no context given to the pictures and the video's date. It's still unclear if those pictures are recent or if they were taken years in the past. Also, one of the girls' pictures with the F-bomb caption looks different than the other two. We may be looking at two different girls. Currently, though, Josh Giddey is 21. The Australian is currently one of the NBA's rising stars. So I don't know what this means for his career. What I do know is parents need to really press their kids about what it means to post on social media, because this kind of stuff will not be erased. They are about to comb through this girl's whole high school career, her yearbooks, all of her extracurricular activities, all because she started off with posting, I effed Josh Giddey. That is going to be a mess, and parents have got to reel their children in where it comes to social media and posting. And these dudes are going to have to get a little bit wiser about how they conduct themselves with girls. They're too high profile to be doing all this. Anyways, go ahead, jump in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share. This closet keeps exposing so many skeletons, and I had a feeling that we were going to see more lawsuits come to light today, since this is the last day that survivors could sue their alleged perpetrators in New York. Now, this one is a big one. Ex-Governor Andrew Cuomo sued for SA day before the window closes. Andrew Cuomo is being sued for SA by the former executive assistant who accused him of groping her at the executive mansion. Brittany Comiso filed a legal summons with the state Supreme Court late Wednesday a day before the New York Adult Survivors Act expired at the end of Thanksgiving Day. In the lawsuit, Comiso argues that she suffered not only severe harm as a result of Cuomo's pervasive abusive conduct, but also retaliation from Cuomo's successor and then Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul after reporting the alleged misconduct. Ms. Cuomo's claims are provably false, which is why Albany District Attorney dismissed the case 2 years ago after a thorough investigation. Cuomo's attorney Rita Galvin told Newsweek on Friday, Ms. Comiso's transparent attempt at a cash grab will fail. We look forward to seeing her in court. Newsweek reached out to Hochul's office via email for comment. The New York Adult Survivors Act, which was signed into law by Hochul last year, allowed for a year-long suspension of the typical time limit in which someone can sue for alleged SA. The state statutes of limitation in New York State is typically 3 years. Comiso, who joined Cuomo's team in 2017, alleges that the abuse began in 2019. As this act winds down, we have definitely seen quite a few big names that are coming to light as far as these lawsuits. We've seen Sean Diddy Combs. We've seen Mayor Eric Adams, who's the current mayor of New York City, Jamie Foxx, Axl Rose, music mogul L.A. Reid, among others. And I'm sure that we're still going to see more news coming out about people and these lawsuits as TMZ and other news outlets start reporting. Comiso had first publicly accused Cuomo of groping her in 2021, alleging the former governor put his hand up my blouse and cut my breast over my bra at the governor's mansion on December 7, 2020. She was among a dozen women who came forward with allegations against Cuomo, who eventually resigned in response to the claim. Although Cuomo left office to avoid governmental paralysis, he denied any wrongdoing, dismissing his behavior as playful instead. The continuous sexual harassment by defendant Cuomo included unwelcome advances, sexualized comments about appearance and personal matters, relations, their dating, their sex life, her marriage, assignment of humiliating and demeaning tasks, hugs, kisses, sexual touching of the buttocks, and forcible touching of the breast, all of which was objectively unreasonable and abusive. Comiso's allegations, which were among the more serious claims leveled against Cuomo, led to a misdemeanor criminal complaint being filed against the former governor in 2021. It was the only charge that Cuomo or his administration faced amid the various state investigations launched into the former governor, but it was ultimately dismissed. Now, just keep in mind, all of these lawsuits that are currently coming out, I believe, are civil lawsuits. So they're compensatory, meaning they are not aiming to put these people in jail. These are, so there's a difference between civil lawsuits and criminal complaints. So keep that in mind, and we'll see if more of these lawsuits come out. Go ahead, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. This is another big one, another big fish. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.